gentleman. Gentlelady from Illinois, Ms. Underwood, is recognized for general remarks on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise today in strong opposition to this bill. At a time when families in Northern Illinois and across the country are already struggling with high costs, House Republicans are pushing a bill that would raise utility bills, gut environmental protections, and cripple the agencies that keep our water clean and our air safe to breathe. This bill will shift the burden of environmental protection to state and local governments, forcing them to choose between raising taxes or cutting water inspections. It will make utility bills more expensive by reducing access to affordable, clean power in order to line the pockets of fossil fuel executives. It prioritizes the corporations that pollute our communities over the needs of hardworking families. House Republicans have written a bill that benefits their corporate donors, but will make our air and water dirtier, our families sicker, and our wallets lighter. They're defunding critical environmental protection agency programs and rolling back life-saving regulations that allow scientific experts to monitor and reduce pollution, control methane emissions, and enforce landmark public health laws like the Clean Air Act and Clean Water Act. These protections are literally a matter of life and death for children, seniors, and millions of Americans. And by the way, they were originally enacted with strong bipartisan support in Congress. In the decades since then, we have made tremendous progress cleaning our air and water, but this bill would undo much of that work with a stroke of the pen. In my district, the EPA is now only beginning a long-awaited cleanup of radium-contaminated soil at the Superfund site in Ottawa, Illinois. This critical project has been delayed by years of underfunding that have left my constituents exposed to dangerous radioactive materials for decades. When Congress underfunds programs like this, that is not fiscal responsibility. It's passing the buck and leaving our constituents to pay the price. And it's not just my constituents. Farmers in California's Central Valley are struggling with a historic drought, while in Iowa, they are battling severe storms and floods. In Arizona, many tribal nations lack basic water infrastructure due to chronic underinvestment. This bill tells these communities that their health and their future don't matter. This bill also slashes funding for our national parks and accelerates the exploitation of protected areas for short-term corporate gain. It even removes key protections under the Endangered Species Act, another popular and effective law that passed with overwhelming bipartisan support. It appears that Donald Trump and House Republicans are only interested in protecting predators like Jeffrey Epstein instead of bald eagles or grizzly bears. In addition to trashing our planet, this bill also slashes support for the arts and cultural institutions, eliminating vital grants that support education and historic preservation in communities across the country. These programs are economic drivers and job creators in our communities, and these cuts will have a real impact. We are witnessing a coordinated effort to dismantle the foundations of environmental stewardship, cultural preservation, and economic fairness. And for what? To protect corporate profits, to give polluters a free pass, to exploit and endanger communities that have fought for decades for clean water and clean air and basic dignity. This bill does not save taxpayers money, it sells them out. And I urge my colleagues to reject this reckless and dangerous bill. I yield back.